Hello everyone and welcome back. So today we're going to take a look at Quarkus 3.0. A first look, what you need to do to set it up, to get it running and to see how it's working. But without further ado, let's dive in. So our journey of course starts inside the POM file. So we see that we import the Quarkus POM with the current version 2. So let's upgrade this to 3.0.alpha2. It's currently an alpha version, but I can assure you it's working pretty fine. Let's re-import and tell Maven to build everything. Compiling. And now we see what we already had when we upgraded to Spring 3.0, because there is an upgrade to Jakarta EE9 and or EE10 in the background. So what we basically need to do is to simply replace these JavaX imports. So we go to our source folder, we say replace in files javax.jakarta. Let's do that and compile everything again. Okay, and then the same thing happened as with Spring. Unfortunately, I don't know why. It's still JavaX SQL, so that hasn't changed. So let's fix that. Package, compiling, and now something very odd is happening. So it says couldn't find JavaX Enterprise Context Application Scope, JavaX, but we already replaced everything. So how can this be? This took me a while, but the answer is pretty simple. If something like this happened, that means that there is some generated code. And where do we have generated code? Inside our map struct person mapper, C. This thing says component model CDI, and because of the compile error, we can see that. And this currently generates a JavaX application scope. What we can do as a simple workaround is please use the Jakarta component model, which is compatible with Quarkus, fortunately. We compile again. It's compiling. It's running the tests. And that's it. Let's take a look what has happened here. So we now have a singleton at named instead of the application scope, and this is of type Jakarta. And now it's working. We can start our application like before. And it's just working with these simple changes. Application starts up. And now we can go to application and we can say, okay, we have to authorize. So this is also working. And all our endpoints are working. So I can retrieve data from the database. Say my name. The health endpoint is working. Prometheus is working. OpenAPI is working. What is actually not working, at least not for me, is Jaeger open tracing. And there I did not find something specifically, but the docs already mentioned that open tracing is deprecated and that you should move to open telemetry. It's the same as with what the Spring people did. They also moved to open telemetry. I didn't try it out, but there is a pretty thorough documentation how you can do this. You can still use Jaeger, but you need to add an additional OpenTelemetry collector, at least as it seems. But other than that, the application is just working fine and only with these small changes. What's also working is we can generate a native image, and this is also working. And what's very, very nice, already with an older version, with an older 2 version of Quarkus, they now introduced a builder, a multi-arc builder, which will build either an ARM image if you have an ARM CPU or an x86 image if you have an x86 CPU. The only thing I've added, as with the Spring stuff, is this set architecture, which will basically just give you a suffix for the image name, so that the image that gets generated gets a suffix if it's an ARM image. But other than that, you don't have to do anything anymore. You know, in the past, we had to provide our own builder for that, and now it's just working out of the box. Okay, a lot of babbling. So now you are asking, okay, what does it bring to the table, the Spring Quarkus 3.0 version, not Spring. Yeah, there is a page you can look up, the road to Quarkus 3.0, and it will give you a small hint. So what it's basically doing, it will of course upgrade everything to the new Jakarta version. They are also going for Jakarta E10, as it seems, not only E9 as Spring does. Microprofile, we have HTTP 3.0 support. And what's very interesting, we will also get support for Project Loom, one of the big things for 2023, or as others would call it, a big rip-off of Kotlin coroutines. But this is something that can bring us the so-called virtual threads in the future and increase the performance of concurrency apps. Yeah, and a lot of smaller stuff. So this should be very interesting. Keep in mind, Spring Boot will also have support for Loom in the future. One small thing, there is a hint here that if you want to upgrade your existing application to Quarkus 3.0, there is a small curl command you can execute. I executed this and this did not change anything. So it seems that my code and my changes were already up to the task. Okay, that's it for now. So this was really just a very first look at Quarkus 3.0. This is just an alpha version, but the final version is to be expected to release soon, and expect more to see of this soon. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!